Hello and welcome to another Sentai Seiya video review. Today we're going to be checking out the Morphin Brace from Tokumei Sentai Go-busters. And it's called the Morphin Brace as a nod to Power Rangers, you know, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers and the whole Morphin Time thing. So that's one of the reasons why it's called the Morphin Brace. It's one of the things in the show that is a nod to Power Rangers, among a couple other things like the fact that the enemy robots are called Megazords, and that the main villain in the series is a giant floating head stuck in another dimension, so kind of like the evil version of Zordon. So the design for the Morphin Brace is actually very simple. It is a wrist-mounted brace, and it is very reminiscent of Bouken Silver's Gogo changer. It had a similar design, and it also had a dial and a display in the dial, much as the Morphin Brace does. Now, the dial display on the Morphin Brace is just a sticker. In the show, this was used to count down when the enemy Megazords would appear and try to take the Enetron away from the city that they were attacking. But this is no actual display, it's just a nice shiny sticker on the toy. So for the most part, the Morphin Brace is blue, silver, and black. Most of the black is on the body, as you can see, with the blue and silver being on the top. Now you can also see that there is this orange plastic piece on the left side of the Morphin Brace, and this is a pair of lenses. Now, one of the neat things about this toy is that underneath the visor there is an LED light that will flash to accompany the sounds of the toy, and since the visor, or lenses, or whatever you want to call them, are translucent, you can get a light piping effect whenever you turn the device on. So you don't have to have the lenses deployed in order to be able to see the light flashing. So like I said, very simple. In essence, it is Bouken Silver's Gogo changer with a pair of lenses attached to the side. And so the Morphin Brace, being a wrist-mounted device, comes with a plastic strap that loops through the back part of the morpher, or the henshin device, whatever you want to call it. It does go over the battery compartment, so that's a little inconvenient. You're going to have to take off the strap if you have to replace the battery on this thing. Well, as you can see, I was lucky enough that the Morphin Brace actually will fit my wrist. I have kind of a medium frame, and my wrist is about 7 inches around, so that looks to be about the max for the strap that's included with this figure. Of course, if you have a bigger wrist, bigger frame size, you could always modify it, as many people do, and make their own straps. And first things first, I'm going to turn the Morphin Brace on, and then I'm going to press the button at the end.
It's Morphin time.
Now in the show, this is the part where the Go-busters will be partially transformed. They're usually just missing the visor, and then they'll go ahead and press the button once more to get the visor on the helmet. And so you get the noise of the visor being put on the helmet, and the finish of the transformation sequence. So then you pretty much have to put this back in. Now in the show, whenever the Go-busters would use the Morphin Brace to transform, they would first turn the dial to get the click, and then they would press the button on the side of the Morphin Brace. But this is not required to get the transformation actions of this toy, but you can do it that way if you want to keep it accurate to the way it's done in the show. So you would just simply click. Careful, watch your face. So now the dial of the Morphin Brace has 7 different modes that can be activated through it, 6 of which can be activated through a single turn of the dial. The other one is a little bit more elaborate, and we'll get to that a little later. Now there are 8 points on the dial, but only 6 modes. And none of the modes are assigned to specific points on the dial. Now, this in itself is kind of a failure for a toy that is going to be a role-play toy, because it does make it harder to get to the mode that you want to get to. Now, the way that I got around this was to memorize the location of the modes relative to the default mode, which is the Go-busters with the explosions. And that's how I will show you guys all the different modes. We're going to start with that one, and then go counterclockwise. So now for the rest of the review, I'm going to take the Morphin Brace off, because quite honestly it's kind of awkward holding the Morphin Brace up to the camera with my arm that way. Now the other sounds of the toy are activated by using the dial. Every time you turn it you get that nice clicky sound, and then you press the center button in the dial.
Go-busters!
So that's one sound. Next on the dial.
Call mode.
And that was call mode, and that's for when the Morphin Brace is used as a communicator. Now you can get 15 different little voice clips when you press this one. I'll show you guys a couple of them just so you get an idea for what you get when you press call mode.
Call mode. 君が元気ならきっと俺も元気になれる。Call mode. 笑って笑って。涙なんか振り払え。
And so as you can see, you get different messages from the Buddyroids when you do call mode. So let's move on to the next sound from the Morphin Brace.
Let's driving. Cheater.
So that's the English "Let's Driving" for when the Go-busters are driving their mechas. And that was the cheetah one, and let's listen to the next two.
Let's driving. Gorilla. Let's driving. Rabbit.
And so the Morphin Brace does the 3 different sounds for each of the 3 main mecha in a row. Now, the first one to play is always random, and then after that it will play the other 2. And so it goes in sets of 3s. So you'll do the 3, and the last one might be, let's say, cheetah. Well, you could also get cheetah on your next try on the 4th one because of the way the Morphin Brace works. But after you get cheetah, you will get rabbit and gorilla afterwards to complete the set. So let's check out the next sound.
Analyze mode.
So that was analyze mode for when the Go-busters use the end of the Morphin Brace to analyze their environment, and this allows them to create a map of the area they are in.
It's time for Buster.
And that's the "It's Time for Buster" sound effect, which is the finishing move sound effect. And that's what they press before they finish off one of the villains. So let's check out the last function of the dial. And this is game mode, which is basically a memory game that was meant for Japanese kids so they can learn directions. So let's see how this plays.
Game mode. Mission. Shikidori ni mawase. Let's start. Right, left.
So very simple, you just hear it and then copy the directions
Right, left.
and press the center button.
Yes. Right, right, right.
Now I'm going to mess this up so you guys can see what happens when you don't do it correctly.
Left. Left, left, left.
And I'm going to mess all these up now just so you guys can see what happens when you keep making enough mistakes.
Left, left, left. Left. Left, left, right, right, right. Left, right, left, right, right. Oh, practice, practice. Renshu shio.
And that's one of the messages that you get when you don't do this correctly. The other one telling you to try again in Japanese and English. So now I'm going to do a run of the game, getting enough of these right to get praise at the end instead of being told to practice or to try again.
Game mode. Mission.
There we go.
Shikidori ni mawase. Let's start. Right, left. Right, left. Yes. Left, right, right. Left, right, right. Yes. Left, left, right. Left, left, right. Yes. Right, right, left, left. Right, right.
So there it was. It told me that I have a cool Super Sentai Soul. So basically that's the game. One of the issues I did have with the dial is that you can turn it sometimes and not turn it all the way. It'll be halfway there and it'll read your movement. So when you finish that click and actually make the full movement, it'll actually read 2 moves instead of just 1. But as long as you make sure you move the dial fast enough and you click it in all the way, it'll read the movements correctly. So it's a neat little game. Again, I mentioned that's probably for kids to learn English. Definitely not a very challenging game for me, an adult who speaks English as one of his primary languages. Now the final mode of the Morphin Brace cannot be accessed by simply turning the dial once and clicking the button. Instead it requires a whole bunch of turns on the dial, and I'll show you how to do that. Once you've turned the dial enough in one direction, the announcer will tell you to keep turning the dial more and more, in both Japanese and English. So let's do that and see what happens.
Special mode! Happy birthday! Tanjobi omedetou!
So when you activate special mode, you get one of several different special messages. That one says happy birthday, and there's also several more like good morning, good night, happy new year, and a couple other ones. So let's check out at least 1 or 2 more. I don't want to bore you guys with every single sound in special mode, and plus it is a little bit time consuming. So let's try out special mode again. Now it is important to note that once you get this midpoint message, you have to keep turning in the same direction. If you turn in the opposite direction, you'll get that same turn message again. So it means that you have to keep going in the same direction through both parts of this process. You can't switch halfway through because it will reset the counter for special mode. So let's just keep turning to the right so we can get another sound out of special mode.
Special mode! Happy New Year! Akemashite omedetou!
So that is it for this review of the Morphin Brace. Now I have added at the end of the video all of the sound clips for both call mode and for the special modes of the Morphin Brace. So if you're interested in that, check it out after this. If not, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys around.